and it is now episode 8 of What's in Your Cup. However, it is a special night.
It is a special night.
Because it's just the two of us.
Just the two of us.
It's your boys. It's Jon and Mark.
Thank you for introducing me.
You want to do it?
No, please.
No, go ahead.
It's your boy Mark.
There you go.
It's Marky Mark and the Funky Bunch. I'm taking the show.
So this episode, unfortunately, Alyssa is not here. She had to run into something.
She was canceled.
Yeah, she was canceled.
Yeah, our producer said you have to get rid of her. She had too many hot takes.
She said something about an emergency at home that she had to be there for. Probably from getting canceled, but that's okay.
We'll give her severance.
We'll give her a severance pay.
Rest in booze, Mike.
Rest in booze, Mike.
I can't wait for him to come back on.
Again,
it's going to be a special episode.
I can't believe he chose his career and education over the show.
Yeah.
That's why he's not here. That's why he's not here.
Like, you're going to choose a master's degree and education over hanging out with the boys?
A master's degree and a $45,000 starting salary over the boys?
Yeah, that's a crazy. Rest in booze.
What? That's crazy.
We're going to have to do an episode where it's recorded and we're like all wearing black funeral attire. And it's just like a picture of Mike. People are like, is he dead? No, he's just not with the boys.
No, he's just not here. He makes us feel like we're dead because he's not here.
Oh, man. No, and then there were two. Like, it's kind of crazy because, you know, we're all at 4, then we're at 3. Then it's like the special episode with you and Alyssa.
Yeah.
And it's back to 3. Now it's our special episode.
It's very inconsistent.
Yeah.
To say the least.
But the only thing consistent is you're in all of them.
That's right. I know. Yeah. I'm here.
Like, you showed up.
I know. I mean, we're in my house. I kind of have to be here.
You know what's crazy? Like, what if you weren't? Like, what if it's just one episode where it's like, you know what, just leave the door unlocked. We'll do the episode. It's like you're, you know, out doing whatever Johns do.
Whatever Johns do during the day.
Yeah.
Just getting... Well, my day is pretty not really basic. It's ever changing. But there's always an element of binge watching at the end of every day.
So if there was a group chat that you were randomly added to where all the Johns in your local area were going to go to a local park and brawl it out for the sole name of Jon, are you showing up?
Absolutely.
And what are you bringing?
I'm bringing... Ooh, that's a good question. I would say I'm bringing in... I don't know. What do you think would be good? What do you think would help me survive?
Like, let's say it was like right now and like you got 1 minute to pull up. Like, I'm just looking around the room. I'm looking at that lint roller.
That lint roller?
Because somebody's allergic to cats, man.
That is true.
Somebody's going to be allergic to cats.
One of them will be allergic to cat hair.
Yeah.
I just pull that out. I have I have a lot of glass bottles in my closet.
That is true. What if
so
like
just
police officers who are Jon show up? You think they're bringing their guns, like they're coming up strapped? Like it's like there's no rules to this.
To be able to fight us all off, they probably have to.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Where I got that idea from was, did you know that was like an actual legit thing? I think it was like Josh. It was like the Battle of the Joshes.
Yes, I saw that meme. I saw it on X, but now it's Twitter, but now it's X. Twitter. It will always be Twitter.
On the news articles, they refer like X, formerly known as Twitter. It's like we all know it's Twitter. just saying it. Oh, man. No, so you want to talk about these drinks because we have a new bartender today, everyone.
Yes, I took up the responsibility today. I am our bartender. Woohoo! And I made something for you and me.
You know...
And I've decided not to taste it. Oh. I'm actually going into it blind with you. So I'm going to see if I've gotten better, I've gotten worse over the years.
This is like not the prettiest one, but this is very like... simple. Like it looks simple, but sometimes the simplest drinks are the hardest to get right.
It didn't take me like 20 minutes to rummage through my fridge the way Alyssa does. I already knew what I was gonna make because she let us know last minute that she can't make it. So and then I was like, oh shit, what am I gonna make for us tonight? And then I just pulled out I feel like it's simple, but you know, the boys don't require very much complex.
We're simple.
We're simple folk here.
We're simple folk down here. For our listeners, it's all right to give a visual representation.
Yep, go ahead.
It kind of looks like lemonade, I would say. It's like you got the lemon wedge in there, nice touch of color, and then the water, or like the liquid, I should rather say, looks very like a faint yellow green, like a lemonade. So I'm definitely thinking this is going to be an interesting drink. Shall we give it a go?
Yeah, let's give it a shot.
Here we go. Cheers.
Cheers, bro.
Oh, this is good. Oh yeah,
you like
that's
it?
good.
So my skills have
That
stayed in touch over the years.
Really good. I think I know what it is.
What do you think it is? I'm gonna put my wedge in there.
I grew up with Italians, so I'm thinking there's definitely some limoncello in here. Would I be wrong in that assessment?
That's a very interesting
But see, also
observation.
limoncello though is like, correct me if I'm wrong, because I'm not Italian. Is that like a special drink? Like that's a drink that you only bring out on special occasions?
Usually we bring it out on special occasions, but even if it's like a get together with someone you haven't seen in a while, like after you eat dinner, they'll do shots of limoncello together.
Oh, so it's not like you wouldn't. So limoncellos, you don't add limoncello into like a mixed drink.
You could if you want to, but
it's not
usually it's
traditionally?
usually it's just taken as a shot.
For those who may not know, John, Mike, and I, this is a story time. We went to a restaurant in our state, and we were at an Italian restaurant, and I didn't know at the time there was a drink menu. And so, I'm going down the drink menu, and I see this really interesting drink, and I was driving home at the time. So I was like, oh, we'll do one drink. And I saw this drink called grappa. I didn't know what grappa was at the time. So I was like, oh, I think I'll get I'll get a glass of grappa. And John is like, are you sure about that? And I was like, what do you mean? Like, I'm assuming it's just a regular drink along like wine or something. And I
Probably
was like,
thought it was like a sambuca kind of thing.
yeah, I'm
It's
thinking
not.
of like, do you want to tell the audience those who may not know what grappa is?
So grappa is basically the easiest way to put it is like, I think of in America, you have moonshine in America. That grappa is basically like the moonshine of Italy. So it's like the same thing. It's like almost 100%. It's it goes down smooth, but it's gonna burn. That shit will burn on the way down.
Yeah, and that's the type of drinks that scare me, because it's like you'll be like, yeah, I'm fine. And then 10 minutes down, you already left the house. You're like,
Yeah.
I'm feeling it now.
It's actually because I had it the other day, actually, when I was out and about. The thing with grappa is that it doesn't burn right away. It starts to singe like after you drink it.
That's weird.
Yeah.
That's weird. I don't know how I feel about that.
Like it'll go down, you'll be like, oh, that was okay. And then like 10 seconds later, you'll start to feel your throat burning.
I had a high school,
Which I kind of like. I thought it
Really?
was kind of like that a little bit. Well, depending on the percentage, it's either going to hurt or it's going to like
be a nice
or it's
little-
going to warm your ass up.
I know. I had a high school teacher once who told me he had an Albanian friend who the Albanian friend brought back Albanian moonshine, or like he told me the name of the drink. And if we have any Albanian listeners, please, tell us. But he told me like it's clear. It's clear. Like it looks like water. That's how clear it is.
Yeah.
And that he had a sore throat, like a really, really bad sore throat, or no, strep throat. Sorry, it was strep throat. And he called up the Albanian guy, and the Albanian guy was like, "Oh, just take a shot of what I gave you. Just take a shot." And he was like, "What?" He goes, trust me, just take a shot." And he takes a shot, and he goes, he literally felt the alcohol burn the strep throat away.
Yeah.
Like,
I completely believe that
like,
story.
And he was like, I took 2-3 shots, like gargled it around in my mouth. He's like, I fully believe that 99.9% alcohol that was going to make me blind, like just killed all that strep throat.
Literally, it's like that. I think that's a big thing. And then like anything with olive oil is a big thing. Like people think that you can just apply olive oil to everything and that fixes every problem.
What do you mean? Like adding olive oil to
I
everything?
remember I heard a story when I was younger. I don't know. I forget where I heard it or how I heard it, but it was something about how someone, he had some type of like long-term illness. It was like either he had like cancer or something, or like something that like was
Like
going to get
terminally ill.
not terminally, but it was like you need to like start like a treatment on it or whatever it is. Like this was like years ago. I was just a kid, and he was telling a story about it. He said, I'm about to start all these treatments. I don't know, like, what else am I going to do about it? Something about how, like, his mom or his dad came up to him and was like, they poured him a quarter glass of olive oil and said, just drink this and you'll be perfectly fine. And then in, like, maybe a week or two later, his, like, the area that spread with it decreased somehow. Wow. Again, this is going off a story of a random person. I can't prove or disprove any of this. This is just from word of mouth.
If you mind me asking, is this like in Italy or is this in the United States?
I don't remember.
Okay,
it was just like a side story that this guy was talking about. And I'm like, I have a hard time believing that that's possible, but
I don't know.
It's like one of those like home remedy things that like it has some benefit to it, but it's you should really be listening to a doctor. You know?
Yeah, I feel like nowadays people are much more skeptical about medicine because there's this openness about, like information, but more information does not equal good information.
Yeah,
that's what I would say.
Everything today you have to constantly fact check.
I'm sorry, Karen, you cutting out gluten is not gonna cure your hair loss.
Yeah, seriously.
Oh man, yeah, it's so weird because I think people, in the age of social media, we would like to think, oh, we have access to all of this information. I feel like in some respects, even with health, and, we have like regressed to some degree because it's so easy. And this is just my personal opinion. Mm-hmm. It's just so easy to, like you said, I'm not saying that the olive oil didn't help, but I can easily go on, my platform of 3 people and say, oh, buy my supplements that do not have to be FDA approved or do not have to go through any sort of like human testing. Mm-hmm. I can make these outlandish claims that, it will cure X, Y, and Z and sell it for like $100. Like, do you know, there's like the supplement industry. Like I would consider myself a reasonably fit person, but I know like the supplement industry is really guilty about doing this because a lot of them do not have to go through any form whatsoever of regulations with the FDA or anything like that they can just kind of, grind a bunch of bone powder, put it in a pill capsule and tell you this is going to make you, vital. Like this is going to increase libido and, all that.
Isn't
stuff.
that like, don't they call like all natural, like holistic kind of medicine?
Yeah. It's like, have you ever seen
There's literally a whole South Park episode on that. It's so funny.
Have you ever seen the Netflix docuseries? I think it's something with wellness. It's like the cure. No. That's a horror movie. Cure to Wellness. It's something like
that's a horror movie.
Yeah. No. There's a Netflix a docuseries that talks about 4 or 5 aspects of the health and fitness industry, and one of them was essential oils. Right. Okay. So like, like the whole aromatherapy, type of, like people will, have like lavender incense. And that's okay, because, like lavender does calm people. Like that's medically proven. Mm-hmm. But there's segments of people that are like, oh, if I take essential oils that I can buy at like Walgreens in the little like small glass bottles and put them in my water, like that somehow can cure my illnesses. So there are sects of people that will sell essential oils, making these outlandish claims like if you have cancer, take these, almond essential oils, put it in your water or put it in your food or just outright, dripping it onto your tongue. Mm-hmm. And there you go. Like, just take that, like you said, like in 2 weeks, your cancer should be done. And if you don't, and if you still have the cancer, you still have the illness, buy this one, buy that one. Like, and so they're just like grifting. They're just like, oh yeah, buy all my products and everything. So it's kind of crazy how there's just no regulation whatsoever over like all those snake oil. I call them snake oil salesmen.
Yeah, it's... We were just talking about this on the last episode with the pink sauce.
Yeah.
That whole thing with the, what was it, like Chef P or Chef Private P?
No, yeah, it's Chef P. And I think Alyssa was really putting it. But yeah, it's like
Yeah,
that
she was
whole
going
thing.
off on Chef P.
But it's crazy though. Like, how are you a culinary professional? Like, I'm not saying, you have to know every single regulation in the CFRs. So that's like the Code of Federal Regulations. It's like the laws of the United States. You don't need to be an expert in every single CFR about food if you're into food. But you need to know the basic stuff. Like, you need to know what the F and FDA stands for if you're being a chef.
Yeah.
Or not even a chef, if you're just working in the food industry. Like, if you're just a line cook or a waiter or something. And if the fact that she didn't know that basic understanding is crazy.
I think it's also just trying to get away with those actions specifically. Like, you trying to come up with an excuse for why it happened, and then you're just like, oh, I didn't know this was like trying to play ignorant.
I do. I agree with you on that. Like, there's
like
probably
not everybody
an element of ignorance.
Not everybody is responsible for it, but a lot of them are. So you can't take away from that.
Yeah. Like, I'm sorry, but I don't feel sorry that her product failed. Hot take. Karamo, you can come after me. I'm not sorry that her product failed because, it's just like, how are you that ignorant? How do you not know? How do you not, like, again, you don't have to be an expert. I'm not saying every single chef on this planet's expert, but every single chef is going to know, yeah, if I have a sauce that has a dairy product in it, maybe I should package it in a semi-refrigerated packaging. Like, have you ever ordered like HelloFresh or like,
I haven't, but
those companies that groceries to order that they come in a refrigerated package. It's like, come on. It's like I'm not even into food, and I know, like, this.
Yeah,
it's like, this is insane. Somebody's gonna make a compilation like Jon and Mark dunk on Chef P. Oh man! If you're listening to Chef P, you should come and defend yourself on this podcast.
Yes, you should. I can invite you into the basement with the rest of us,
and bring some pink sauce. Jamari. I know I keep bringing him on. He needs to come on this podcast.
You just love watching Jamari.
He is such a funny YouTuber. Shout out. Such a funny YouTuber. He actually got striked on his YouTube channel.
Was it because of the Chef
No,
P
it wasn't.
video?
I was just going to... How he segued into this was he has a recent video about Chef P and like the downfall of the pink sauce that I haven't watched yet, but I have to. But the reason why he got striked was because, you know who EDP 445 is?
Yes, I know who EDP 445
is. So EDP, for those who do not know, EDP 445 is a guy, could we say a YouTube legend? Or no, infamy.
Yeah, infamy is a better word.
Infamous. It stands for not emotionally disturbed person, as probably he is an EDP, but it's eat that pussy.
Yeah.
445. He kind of, correct me if I'm wrong, he kind of rose to fame as being like this super duper like Eagles fan, like Philadelphia Eagles. Like he was like almost like obsessed with the Philadelphia Eagles, and he was pretty big in the YouTube world, like in the sports kind of world. And, he was never my cup of tea because, I don't watch sports. I like to play them, but, I'm not shitting on people who like to watch sports. But he was a very successful YouTuber, and I forgot who took him down, but it was basically these guys who like to go, well, not even goating because they're doing a good job, but it's like basically to catch a predator. And they posed, I think if I'm remembering it correctly, they posed as like a 13-year-old girl and actually got EDP. Like, and he is what made them famous. Yeah. Like he is the case that brought those two guys on the map. And I'm just blanking on their name.
Yeah.
And what happened was that EDP didn't go to prison because they botched this, expose, right? However, his career was ruined. Yeah. Like people, wherever he went, people called those places. So like, for example, he lost his house, he lost his friends, lost his family, lost his job on YouTube. So let's say he went to go work for like, I don't know, McDonald's. Somebody would find that EDP445 is working there, call up the manager, and they would fire him. Same with the landlord, the apartments, everything. And I recently watched this other Jamari episode that, you know, he was talking about EDP445, and they caught him again. But with a 15-year-old girl, like a legit 15-year-old girl.
Wasn't
he was
the video Gideon was dressed up in like a cupcake or something like Yeah, he was wearing like a cupcake costume when he caught him.
Yeah, absolutely right. Like, how is this man not in prison?
I remember watching a video on something. It was I don't think it was Jamari. It was another like commentary channel talking about like like the whole situation and how it's going. I think he was just like he was driving around the country going like place to place I think he tried changing his like legal name so that he can't something like that. Yeah, so
this is EDP445.
Yeah, he was just like avoiding capture this whole time, just trying to get as far away from what happened as possible.
He's gotten to the point where he's selling his YouTube memorabilia.
Yeah. And
he tried to like do this whatchamacallit, like, oh, you know, buy for $100 EDP445 will wish you happy birthday, or like, you know,
like the cameo
stuff. Yeah, and nobody was doing it, bro. Nobody was doing it. Like, dude, just get off in the words of Jamari, get off the internet. Just admit defeat. You have to leave admit defeat. It's like him, Shane Dawson.
Yeah, he got canceled.
He like no joke. Sometimes I think cancel culture is a little bit of a joke. Shane Dawson got canceled.
He got horrifically
like,
canceled.
Has he come back? Like, I'm not in that corner of YouTube, but has he come back to your knowledge? Has he like even attempted to make a comeback?
I haven't been keeping up with anything like he's been doing since I heard about it. She would probably know about it, but I have no idea.
I think there would have been something on Twitter or I'm sorry, X, that if Shane Dawson was trying to make a comeback, because he got canceled. And it all started with what? Willow Smith, right? Or was it Jaden Smith? Because how it started, his downfall was like Shane Dawson. Are you familiar with like his rebranding and everything?
No.
All right. So,
I didn't watch any of his stuff.
Yeah.
I didn't use YouTube stuff when I was younger, but I remember like the big thing that became like one of the first things to go after him was something with his cat.
Well, what happened was that Shane Dawson was, for those who may not know, was like one of the godfathers of YouTube. Like, he was one of the first ones, like him. Fousey Tubes was another, like Smosh, like these guys, like
the grandfather.
Yeah, like the first wave of a YouTuber, right? And Shane Dawson did very, very edgy humor that today would probably be like borderline racist, like by today's standards, but at the time very, very like edgy.
Yeah.
And
that was like everybody.
Yeah, that was
YouTube
like the taste.
That was the thing
YouTube
at the time, was just to push it as far as you can.
Yes, you are.
So, on a platform that would let you do that.
So what happened? This was like before Adpocalypse, like this was like unregulated, or what some people would say like golden era YouTube, right?
Mm-hmm.
So there was a viral video of Shane Dawson pretending to beat his meat to a poster of Willow Smith as a child, and he's like, I like it when you whip your hair back and forth. You whip your hair.
Oh my God.
Right. Again, like pushing the envelope. But that kind of got forgotten in a way because, again, like you said, everyone was doing it, right?
Yeah,
so
when there's so much shit happening at once, you can't remember everything.
Yeah, exactly. So what happened was that Shane Dawson then successfully rebrands himself as like this wholesome YouTuber, right? Very successful rebrand. And actually does a very successful docu-series.
I was about to say, like, he did like all the documentary stuff afterwards.
Like that was a very like Dasani water and all of that, right? So he was a very successful transition. Then, if I'm remembering correctly, because this is years ago, Jaden Smith makes something about Shane Dawson, like, Shane Dawson, you're a piece of shit because look what you did, and then tags the video. Then that starts the avalanche. Then, what's her name? Jada Pinkett Smith. she hops on it. Well, like rightfully so, because what he did was kind of like, even at the time, like, all right, bro, this is a little.
Yeah.
Then somebody gets all his blackface. He did a lot of blackface. Then he did with the cat, and I think there was also a dog.
Oh, it's disgusting.
And then the problem was that Shane Dawson, at the same time, did another. I wouldn't you call it a rebrand, but he got into like the the beauty corner of YouTube, where he partnered with Jeffree Star.
Oh.
And Shane Dawson was making
that wasn't
money.
just like another documentary series.
No.
Thing?
He was releasing his own, because at this time he came out as bisexual, and I'm gonna do the makeup, and then he was very wealthy. He still is wealthy, but like he was going to like James Charles rocket of wealth in the beauty community, right? And it was like
it's a hard
overnight, like he lost like millions of subscribers. People were you are canceled. And then Shane Dawson released an apology video. Did not help.
They never help. They never help at all.
That is probably, I'm surprised there hasn't been like a real YouTube movie about Shane Dawson.
There probably
just
is.
like the rise and fall of Shane Dawson.
There's got to be like some type of
there's like those high-end
quality
videos, but I'm talking about like a borderline
like
movie,
feature-length
documentary
about,
of like because this is also, I would say, goes into like broader culture of like a time when cancel culture, you can arguably say, was successful, like with Shane Dawson.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of another one who had like.
But before we continue, do you want to get back to the drinks real quick? Because you haven't.
I'm thinking.
Kept guessing.
Yeah, I'm. For the ASMR people out there, there's carbonation in here.
Mm-hmm.
I'm thinking of LaCroix in here.
Okay.
Because I do see the bubbles.
The bubbles. LaCroix is not the only thing with bubbles in it.
Ginger ale. Ooh.
I do have sodas up there.
Okay, I'm thinking ginger ale and a shot of lemon, or 2 shots of limoncello, because I know you like your drinks strong. That's what I'm saying.
Well, this one's not very strong.
Damn.
Why? You feeling it?
No, but like I would expect, because you're always like, oh, these drinks aren't strong. These drinks aren't strong. So when you're making
I limited it this time.
You're calling me a lightweight?
No, not directly, but you did get the LaCroix right. There's a LaCroix in here. It is not limoncello though.
So what's the yellow?
Do you want me just to give it up?
Wait, actually, wait, no. Let me.
And there is a lemon wedge, just so okay, just to remind everybody.
I'm trying to think. What is there? Gin? No. Jose Cuervo.
Mm-hmm.
Jose Cuervo.
Maybe. Is that your answer?
I'm trying to think of like that would give it the yellow pigmentation, because like it literally looks like lemonade.
I used to have like Jose Cuervo margarita mixes, but it's not in my house currently.
Oh,
so you're wrong twice.
I'm stumped. What's giving it this yellow tint?
So do you give up? You want me just to tell you?
Yeah, tell me.
All right. So it's literally just a vodka lemonade. It's orange vodka with lemonade, like homemade lemonade.
Wow.
And I put in a lime LaCroix to add like another like fruit flavor to kind of throw you off a little bit. And then put the lemon wedge to make it look nice.
Dude, this is like a legit summer drink. Like, you should write this recipe down.
Unfortunately, it's not as cold because the lemonade was made literally like 20 minutes ago.
But like, if you like, let's say made it like a legitimate summer drink, I would enjoy this like on a hot July day, some like a big thing of ice, because you can probably make this really strong, but if you put the lemonade in, which would mask a lot of like the bite and all that of an alcoholic drink, people are getting fucked up to this.
I wanted to name it Lemon Fritz. What do you think?
Lemon Fritz? I can see it.
It has lemon, orange, and lime in it.
I can see it.
That's just the first name that came off the top of my head.
This is a really good drink, though.
I'm glad you like it.
All right, I'm going to reevaluate now from all the drinks I've had on this show. I'm going to put this, you know what? I think this is going to take the top spot. Not to also gas you up.
Dude, my first drink is
not
the top
to gas
spot.
You up. I'm not trying to gas you up.
Oh, please, go ahead. I would love nothing more than that.
close second, a very close second. And I know Mike is going to like joy at this because I hate Fireball, but that Fireball and apple cider.
That's your top.
Was a really good, like that was very surprising. The Barbenheimer.
The Barbenheimer.
The Barbenheimer
drink, yeah.
episode. Then I would say, I'm trying to think.
Wait, so would this be first or second?
This would be first. Very close second would be Mike's drink, the Barbenheimer special.
Okay,
that was a very good one. And then I would say the third would be the soju bomb.
The soju bomb.
Because like I knew what it was, but I just had never had it. Mm-hmm. And I think it would probably climb closer. I think it would still be third, but it would be a closer third if it was, because I'm going to give Alyssa the credit. She didn't have like the real ingredients for a proper soju bomb. And if we gave her the real ingredients, I think it would be a lot better.
Okay.
But it was still a good drink. So that would be my top three. I'm glad
you like it.
What would be your top three? And you can't say yours.
Yeah, it's not going to be mine.
Yeah.
I'd say my top three, I'd probably add the Barbenheimer one, the Oppenheimer one, which I like better, the Fireball and the apple cider. Then I would put, the soju bomb was cool, but it really just tasted like a stale beer to me. I don't know about you, but for me, it tasted like a Heineken with no carbonation. That's just me, personally. I bet it tastes better if you have the actual ingredients,
like Korean beer and all that.
Yeah, I bet it tastes better that way. But for me, it tasted just like an uncarbonated Heineken. Mm-hmm. So that's not on my list. But she made this is the one that you weren't on. She made one drink with an orange creamsicle in it. It was like orange vodka, orange creamsicle, like that kind of. I forgot.
Like an orange drink.
It was like an orange citrus flavored drink that was actually really good. So I'll give that to her.
Okay. And then, so Barbenheimer, I'm going to call it the orange creamsicle drink. And then what's your number three?
What's the other one? Oh my God, I'm forgetting my drinks now.
There's a lot of them.
There's a lot of them.
Some
of
the episodes had two of them. You have to remember that.
That's true.
Damn, we need Mike back.
We do need Mike back.
Mike, come back. Mikey, come back. You can blame it all on me.
And I'm trying to remember all of them.
Yeah, it's hard. I'm thinking of the memorable ones. Yeah. I know that's kind of crazy.
The last one was pretty good. You hated the last one though.
Okay, it's not
because it tasted like that chalky medicine that you hated.
It's just dairy and alcohol, and this is again. I'm not saying I would have done a better job because I probably wouldn't have. But it's just, if there's two things in this world that shouldn't mix, in my opinion, and this again, Alyssa, she was dealt the card she was given. Yeah. So I'm not blaming her at all. Right. But I know she's about to rip my ass open at the next episode once she hears this. But it's just, I'm not a big dairy and alcohol person. Yeah,
you don't like the mix.
Yeah. It's just, I don't know. I'm pretty sure there's probably one drink out there that I would like, but I don't know. It kind of just it smelled a lot better than it tasted. Yeah. It did. I was like, ooh, this smells like, strawberry Nesquik. And I tasted it. And I was just, again, it wasn't bad. It's just my PTSD from that time I had the chicken pox. I had to drink chalk medicine. Right. Was just coming back. And it wasn't fun.
I remember the first episode, Mike made us Long Island iced teas. So that's not going to go on my list. That was just plain ass rude. Because he knows my history with the Long Island iced teas. But I'll probably make those three, the Oppenheimer drink, the orange creamsicle, and then the last one that Alyssa made, the strawberry one.
So we're going to have to keep a tally because my tally, each of you have one. So it's gold, silver, bronze. I have to enter the race. I have to make a drink.
You have to make one. You'll do it next week.
You know what? I will do it next week. So stay tuned for mine. I will do it next week. I'll have to bring stuff though. Okay. Because I have stuff at my house that I think
I could pick up stuff for you too if you want.
No. I'll bring it. Okay. I'll have to go home, brainstorm what I want to make because I'm definitely gonna make a real drink. And then not that these drinks aren't real. Yeah. I'm just saying. And then
you'll make an actual cocktail or something that you can look up.
Maybe
online.
I'll make the pad thai drink and make
Oh
us drink
my
it.
God. I don't even want to try that. And I try everything. I don't even want to try that.
Yeah. Now, switching the conversation, I know you were telling me about this off-brand cereals.
Yes, I have. So I have a topic that I meant to bring it up last week, but we got so caught up in our favorite TV shows and Comic-Con that we didn't get to mention it.
Yeah, nerd culture.
In nerd culture. So one of my biggest pet peeves that I've ever had since I was a kid is going into the store and seeing you see like the popular cereal brands in the aisle, right? Like the famous ones like Frosted Flakes, Lucky Charms,
Like the A-list.
the Cinnamon Toast Crunch, like the A-list cereals, right? And then right next to it, you've got the store brand, like cheap rip-off cereal brands. And that infuriates me to no degree because it's also just, I know you've been laughing at me about this. I brought this up last week.
This is a very weird vendetta, but please continue.
But just keep in mind what I'm trying to say here is that it pisses me off to no end to see how little effort it goes to make a third-party brand cereal that nobody eats.
Nobody eats is a crazy statement.
Okay, fine. People eat it, but to even say that it's comparable, it's not.
So would you say if a blind taste test that, let's say I bought Frosted Flakes and like, I don't know, a store brand, like Aldi version, right? You'd be able to tell the difference?
I feel like I would.
That is a very powerful
I
statement.
feel like I would because
Wow.
I've done it. I did it with Lucky Charms.
Oh, you've done this before.
And then there's one of them called Marshmallows and Stars with like a cheap ass like JPEG wizard on the front.
I thought you were going to talk about Marshmallow Mateys or something like that.
No, it's called Marshmallows and Stars.
They're not even
They're not
it
even
anymore.
trying, bro. They're not even trying to stand out from the crowd. They're like, you know what we are. You know what we're trying to do. Just buy the fucking cereal.
Has anyone made any carbon copies of Cookie Monsters?
Cookie Monster.
The wolf with the cookies.
Cookie Crisp.
Cookie Crisps. Has anybody made any?
Yeah, of course they have.
Really?
Let me try to find it. I had it. Wait. I have this article open from last week. I never closed it because I've been wanting to talk about this. Let me try to find it.
Because I'm trying to think of like ones that haven't been a carbon copy.
Yeah, there are. So you got Cookie Crisp with the wolf on it. You know, whole grain. I think it's General Mills and stuff like that. Then you got the one from Southern Home called Cookies, spelled with a K.
Of course, the Southern.
And it's got a picture of a clown on it with a hat on one of its hair ball things. Like, you know, like you got.
Can I see it? Or,
you know, like when a like a clown has like a receding hairline, but it's just got those two bundles of hair on each side and parted down the middle. Yeah, it's like, look at this real quick. You see this shit?
Damn. Yeah. For those who are not seeing, this is basically a carbon copy.
It's basically a carbon copy. It's just called Cookies. They look exactly the same, but it's on a shittier box.
How are these things? Do you think they're owned by the same company and that's why they're not being sued?
I don't think they're owned by the same company because they have different logos on it. It doesn't look the same.
But that's so
No,
crazy.
they look the same, but they're definitely different cereal companies without a doubt. Because if it was rebranded the same thing from the same company, then that would be even more ridiculous or even more of a hazard to themselves.
I wonder if like with all these off-brand cereals, are they like upset like General Mills or Kellogg? Like,
they should be if they're not. I've never heard of them.
Because this kind of just reminds me of, do you know the whole beef with like higher end retailers and fast fashion? Do you know like that beef?
Yeah.
It's kind of like the same thing where I feel like these companies will probably go to a grocery store, see what, General Mills came up with, and then within a week they have like a carbon copy.
I wouldn't be surprised because it really makes me think like, see, because like I appreciate like
Creativity.
I'm a film and TV guy. Like I appreciate good marketing and stuff like that, like creativity and like the subjective part of art and stuff like that or whatever. So this kind of applies to it. I'm not calling cereal boxes artwork, but
it's like part of our childhood. It's part of like
but
broader
it's the point.
culture.
It's the point of like a business marketing thing where I would appreciate if you put a little bit more effort into your creation rather than just ripping off something as popular as you are and then resell. It's like doing direct to video films of like like these companies that like let's say like the Avengers just came out, they'll make a rip off like piece of shit direct to video thing, call it like those Avengers instead of the Avengers, and then they resell it, and then they make a lot of money off of it, like especially internationally, because they won't tell the difference compared to like an American audience. So do you
think most of these cereals are sold on like an international?
I've
like,
seen
like
these,
so like European, for example, like let's say European or like Asian kids will be like, oh, you know, I want to have like like, you know, let's say they're looking at an American show and they're like, oh, I want Frosted Flakes, and they go to their local store and they see flaky Frosties and thinking it's Frosted Flakes. Like,
I wouldn't be surprised if it is possible, but I see it happening here. It's not just happening out there. Even if they were selling it out there. But it's like I see it in like the American grocery stores, and people buy them in the American grocery because they're cheaper. They usually, like, I'm pretty sure like the calorie difference is noticeable, possibly. Maybe it could be worse. I don't remember.
Do you think like the era of creativity is dead? Like, I remember hearing like this video on YouTube that was like somebody saying like, well, you know, tying into this, it's copycats are like ruining, like, I'm trying to explain it. For example, people obviously draw inspiration from others, right? Like artists, you know, even like chefs, everyone draws inspiration from everyone else. But there's a fine line between inspiration and just copycatting.
Yeah.
And today
100%.
we just have a lot of copycats, and it's just ruining society, like, you know, creative wise.
Well, the reason, so that aspect where it's like they take like their inspirations and then rip off other people has been there forever. It's been like since the beginning of like storytelling or art, that's always existed. But here's the thing. Not everyone was capable of being an artist. Back in the day, if you wanted to be like a high-end, like fancy artist that like famous, like people knew who you were, you needed to have talent, you needed to have a distinction, you needed to have everything. Like with the internet today, with social media today, you don't need that. You just need to post something online, say, oh, look at what I drew, I hope you like it, and if it catches some attention, they'll do it, because most people are not going to do the research to find out where this piece came from unless they like really wanted to dig into it. Like an artist that sees someone make something could probably tell where this inspiration came from.
You're a big movie guy, and you know, like just building off of this, like just kind of like rip-offs. What is your take on like the whole AI thing? Like how people, you know, like AI, you license your face and, you know, they're just going to put you on some like computer generated character, like AI writing scripts for movies and all that.
I think it's it really does get in the way. It's a common complaint. It's like you can't use AI to make shit for you. Because that also damages yourself a lot. Like, how as a writer can you say like you wrote this when it's just generated on a computer? If anything, I'll just get a subscription to the Chat GPT and use that, and then fire you and use that from now on.
But it kind of like just draws. I feel like if we use AI or just like copycatting in general, like, you know, with the cereals and all that, there's no, what's the word? Like, there's no big jump in, you know, there's no like ingenuity, or there's no like, you know, advancement in any art form or anything. Like inspiration is just kind of like, all right, I'm going to take a little bit of what you have, but I'm going to throw my thoughts in. And then somebody's like, oh, I'm going to take what you two guys have and I'm going to throw my thoughts in. And then at some point somebody makes a whole new form of art or a whole new form of, you know, like, you know, food or culture or whatever, right? But if you're just copying and copying and copying and copying, at some point it's just like, how many times can you retell the same story? How many times can you make, like with cereal, like the same cereal, you know? It's just like, I don't know. It's going to be crazy. Do you think name brands matter anymore?
I think that today, I feel like they should matter, but it's more like, it's not just about having the name brand. It's also just about, it's about like how much you're paying for those brands. It's about like getting the alternative, like people, people tend to not care. It's just more like, I have this or whatever. So unless you have like a diehard fan of something that's willing to go through it, like it's one of those things. I take it seriously because I look at it not just as a box of cereal. I take it as like,
you're insulting me.
You're insulting like my intelligence by thinking I'm not going to notice where this inspiration is coming from. Because I do the same thing with movies and TV shows all the time. If I see something that resembles another show I've watched or another series I've watched, I'm going to call it out because it's like you're just taking the idea that, and it's very difficult to have a genuine creative idea. It's very difficult because it also happens unconsciously.
Yeah.
Because you're like taking like something you've seen before or something that you thought you've seen before and then adding that perspective into your artwork, which could go in a good way, it could go in a bad way. But it's so hard to be able to do it, especially when everybody has the opportunity to do it without any regulation. Like you can post anything online and call it art, and there's no one there to tell you that it's not.
Do you think there should be like, I'm not trying to make this more about art, but like, do you think there should be kind of like a guideline to what is art to a certain degree?
I feel like, because because like, especially like, as good as AI art can look like, don't ever say that I made this. You can call it AI art, but you cannot say, "Oh, I made this using the." No, absolutely not. You did nothing. You typed in a bunch of words into a generator, and it did it for you.
But to be fair,
it's like saying I did my taxes today when it's really your accountant did your taxes this year. You paid someone to do it for you, so you didn't do your taxes. You had somebody do your taxes for you.
But to play devil's advocate, right? Would you say the same thing for like DJs? Like they're not playing instruments; they're just pushing buttons.
But a DJ is not saying that like I'm creating this new thing. He's just reverbing or.
But like like for example, like rest in peace Avicii or like Swedish House Mafia, those like big DJs. Would you, in your opinion, call them musicians? This is a hard question.
Does that only apply to DJs, or does it also apply to artists that remix?
I'm not
songs?
I'm not like interrogating you because it's just
I want to like discuss.
AI art, right? I plug in numbers or plug in like Penguin doing a somersault, and I get this beautiful AI art piece, right? I'm not an artist. DJs just take in in their most basic form. Just take random sounds on an internet, on a track, and just plug them in. And that's really hard. Like, well, my cousin, he, did dabble with a little bit. Not like he's an amazing musician, plays like 10 instruments, but he's like dabbled a little bit, and he's like, it's actually pretty hard to like come up with like a song, like Avicii or Swedish House Mafia does. Would you consider them, though, musicians? They're not like playing the cello, or they're not like hammering away hours and end on like, a guitar, but they're doing the same amount of hours, like just on a computer screen.
It's difficult to say, but I'm going to get a lot of shit for answering this question.
Dude, take the hot take. It's all right.
I think there's like it depends on the situation, but I think most DJs are not musicians.
I'm gonna
go like there are some DJs that come up with like their own things on like their own songs, their own soundtracks and things like that. Like, isn't Calvin Harris a DJ?
Yeah, I think
like Calvin Harris, David Guetta.
Yeah,
I don't think I've ever heard them sing. I've heard them make
like they're
music,
like
producers.
Yeah, they're like they make the beat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like if it's an original beat, like if you're taking something from 20 years ago, adding
and
like
sampling it.
If you're sampling, you're taking it. It's the same shit. If you're taking a sample from a past song that went viral in the 80s, remixing it today, and then bass boosting it, is that an original song? Are you really being the creative one here? No.
Yeah, I see where you're coming from.
And you can say it's a cover, you can say it's this, but do not say that it's yours.
It is a hot take, but you're giving like a dose of reality to the conversation.
Yeah.
Because I do think,
Because it's also one of the easiest ways to get noticed in that industry is that you're just taking a song that people remember and they loved it a lot.
And playing on that nostalgia.
And you're playing on that nostalgia, but applying like a modern aesthetic.
Yeah.
So it's applicable to the younger generation.
But some people would say that that's good because you're like prolonging that life. Because if you didn't do that and you allow that good song to basically die with that generation, another generation would not know that song. Like think of all the good songs that we don't know about because they were never remade. Mm-hmm. But, you know, somebody at some point will remake Don't Stop Believing into a techno song in 50, 60 years from now. And we'll be like, oh, wow, I remember that song, you know, and then bang. Like, what would you say to that? Or do you think like, sorry to cut you off, but like, or do you think that the song should be a product of their time? So like you can still like, for example, people still listen to Mozart. Mozart's still like an amazing musician, but he's very much a product of his time. You know, like, do you think that's how music should be?
Is the product of the time to be sampling everything from the past though?
Like I forgot who said it, but somebody said something along the lines of like we haven't had a cultural revolution since the 1990s. Like everything that's cool nowadays is just being like recycled from the 90s, like baggy clothing, you know, like crop
80s and
tops.
90s are just being recycled as much as almost like name one song today that doesn't have a sample off the top of your head.
Doja Cat Woman.
I haven't done the research. I can't check that. Her new song is a sample.
Really?
Paint the Town Red is a sample.
Really? Of what song?
It was the song "Walk On By" Dionne Warwick.
Oh, see,
I'll look her up real quick.
Wait, did you know that like when you were listening to it, or did you like read it?
Not until I found out about it.
You were like, damn.
Do you know the guy on? I think he's on YouTube and TikTok. It's Jared Germain.
Probably I've seen him.
He does all these music videos where he's showing like, did you know this song was sampled? Like that kind of thing. He's a pretty famous on social media right now, but let me
that's crazy. Oh my, paint the town red, blah blah blah. That's a good song though.
Yeah, I think it's Dionne Warwick. Marie, I'm gonna say Dionne because that's how I
somebody will
it.
correct us.
Marie Dionne Warwick, an American singer, actress, and television host, ranks among the 40 biggest U.S. hit makers between 1955 and 1999. Her song it's called "Walk On By." It came out in 1964.
Oh yeah, so that's enough time for people like us.
This not people like people are not going to know where this is unless you're a music person.
So I wonder if Doja
Cat did the research.
I wonder if she had to pay royalties on that.
She absolutely had to. Like the sample from the song, like in the beginning, the song goes like "Walk On By," like that.
Oh, I didn't.
It's literally
have to listen
if you
to it
play.
again now.
I can't play them because
we don't want to
we'll get copyrighted immediately. But if you listen to both of them, if you listen to one after the other, you'll hear it.
Yeah.
And then I did that, and I heard it, and I was like, see, here's the thing. I thought "Paint the Town Red" was a banger. I really like that song.
But you just
but then once you find out that it's sampled, my perspective changed. I was like,
you know,
like it's gonna happen. It's gonna happen everywhere with everything because that's just the norm now. It's to sample stuff from 50 to 80 years ago that nobody remembers, and then you're going to bring it back, you're going to credit all these people, it's going to go to your success, but at the same time it's like, because again, the opportunity to become famous, to show what you can do is made available to everyone. In the 20th century specifically, you needed, when you were a celebrity in the 20th century, you were a celebrity.
You needed talent.
You were famous. You had to be extremely talented. You had to like put in every part of your work was your own. You didn't craft. Yeah. You had to you obey everything that the companies threw at you, whatever it was. Today, everybody's a celebrity. Everything goes viral. There's nothing there's no icons now.
I would say like the icons of our time, like
some of them, there are some of them.
I would say maybe, I'm not a super big fan of her, but I respect her as an artist, like Beyonce. I would say like Beyonce is like an icon.
Yeah.
But what was I gonna say? But going back to the whole like, you know, paint the town red and all that, I need you to look up something for me. This is gonna be really like cancelable because I need to know if it's sampled now because I really hope it's not. Slow Jams by Kanye West, Twista, and Jamie Foxx. That's such a good song. That's like my favorite Kanye song. I know. And if it's sampled, I'm gonna be so sad.
You want to see if Slow Jams is canceled? If it's sampled.
Yeah. Oh no. Oh no.
It's sampled.
No.
It's sampled.
No. By what song?
Is a so first it says Slow Jams is a pop rap R&B hip hop and soul song paying tribute to previous old school R&B productions and samples Vandross's 1981 cover of Dionne Warwick's 1964 ballad "A House Is Not a Home."
Really?
With its sped up use in the song being described as chipmunk soul. Soul Jams was
wait,
sampled.
a house is not a home. It's like, and a house is not a home.
Again, I can't play the song.
Oh, am I about to be copyrighted?
No. You can like mouth it, but like I can't like look up the song and play it without getting
I'm singing
copyrighted.
a lot this episode. I need to stop.
But yeah, Slow Jams was sampled.
Damn, I still like the song though. Wow.
I'm telling you, dude.
When I saw that for the audience, when I saw John smiling, I was like, "Damn." Did you already know the answer before?
No, I did not know that.
No, but
like you really don't know like how much music or how much art is taken from something else.
Wow.
And it's because nobody pays attention to it and nobody is doing the research on it, so it's not noticeable unless you are an art person or a music person.
Yeah, and I would think like, because all those songs, and I'm not trying to like shit on the boomers, but it's like we wouldn't know them. Like, for example, let's say in another 30 years, and I know I'm not trying to pay any disrespect to that artist. What was her name? Dionne Warwick?
Dionne Warwick.
Yeah, I'm not trying to pay any disrespect to her. I'm pretty sure she has a bunch of fans. But like for our people our age, in another 20 years, who's gonna know it was her?
Yeah.
And would that just be public domain at that point?
Like that generation in the 60s would know who she is.
But yeah.
But then 60 years later, 70 years later, they're not going to know.
Like the only time I heard somebody get like legit copyrighted was Vanilla Ice with Ice.
Well, his beat, I don't think he credited it. That's why. But it was a direct like beat,
that's like carbon
beat
copy.
for beat.
Yeah.
Carbon copy. And
he
did a terrible job of explaining how it's not a carbon.
Yeah, and what's crazy though is like that song is so iconic, and they were still alive. Like it wasn't like Freddie Mercury and David Bowie were dead yet. And that was just such an iconic song under pressure. And but like let's say Vanilla Ice sat on that beat, maybe, and somebody let's say in 20 years makes a song just like that using beat for beat. How many people are gonna know it?
Yeah,
you know. So that's what I'm interesting to see.
Yeah. But do you also think that it's like taking advantage of that aspect? That like you can just take something from 50 plus years ago, bass boost it or sample it, and then say that and call it yours?
I want to say no.
I disagree. I think it's highly taken advantage of. And
like,
because it's easy.
It is easy, but also I think there's a big difference between taking it and then drawing inspiration from it, right? So like Vanilla Ice took it point blank, like he took it, but Kanye, not Ye, Kanye, you know, Twista and Jamie Foxx with Slow Jams. I don't know the song that they're referring to, so you know I'm just gonna go out on a limb here that they paid inspiration to it, or like Paint the Town Red. It wasn't like a carbon copy beat for beat. I'm assuming it wasn't a carbon copy beat for beat, but they just drew inspiration from it and then made something else. You know, that's where I was going from, like what being inspired by something versus like just with the serials, just carbon copy is like having inspiration from someone. You still make something that's uniquely yours, but just carbon copy, you're not creating anything new. You're just hopping on the bandwagon. That's the literally definition of dick riding. Like, you know, that's my 2 cents.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's pretty interesting.
Also, real quick, I just want to quickly go back to the cereal brands. I have this article up. Like, Do you know any of them off the top of your head? Because like I'm seeing them now, and like I knew them from. I have a couple to talk about that I thought were like the laziest shit I've ever seen.
I think I'm trying to think,
and I just really want to talk about this so that I can get it out of my system and then not talk about it next time.
Because I'm trying to think like cereal. I now got really expensive, at least at the delis. Like by my deli, Apple Jacks is like $8 a box.
Really?
I think it's because they don't have like the power to like buy in bulk. Mm-hmm. But I'm trying to think. Like
I shop at Aldi's all the time, and they have great deals, great prices.
I can't wait for Aldi needs to sponsor this podcast. But also,
have you been there?
They're building one by my house.
How have you not? No, there's one in the plaza.
In the plaza.
In the Gun Hill Plaza. The one that we usually go to.
I haven't been there, but
bruh,
they're gonna make one.
We have to do an Aldi's run. Next time I have to go like shopping from like my steaks and stuff.
Or should I just wait for the grand opening by my house?
Well, how long is the grand opening?
I don't know, but it'll be like unadulterated. Like my first one would be like that Aldi's.
All right, if that's how you feel.
You know, we have to go to Germany and go to a real. But in Germany.
Oh, that's Aldi right. It's a German brand,
I don't think
right?
It's called Aldi though, or like Northern Germany and Southern Germany have two different names for Aldi's.
Okay.
But going back to the topic with cereals, my dad is the big cereal eater in our household. Like I'll occasionally have a bowl of cereal, but I'm not like a diehard cereal lover. I got nothing against it. I just don't eat cereal a lot. Mm-hmm. So I can't really say I know a lot of like off-brand cereals. I'll have to take I'll have to conduct some research on my next grocery haul.
So then I'll ask you a couple questions.
Okay.
And then like you just try to come up with like what you think would be it, because this is like really funny to me.
Yeah. Are you gonna do like say the off-brand and then I think what the name brand is?
Actually, let's do that. That sounds like fun. That sounds like a good idea.
What was your original idea?
I was gonna give you. It was the reverse. I was gonna give you the first brand, and then you give me the knockoff brand.
Oh, okay.
But I'll give you this sounds much better. I'll give you the knockoff brand instead.
Okay.
What do you think of Cocoa Nuggets?
Cocoa Nuggets? Cocoa Pebbles?
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
And it's got a picture of a green monkey holding a spoon.
Oh my gosh. It's like
swinging from a vine.
That gives the same energy. What? Because Cocoa Pebbles...
It's shaped the same, looks the same, but again, it just has a different mascot.
You know what was a really good... What was the name of the three elves? They always had like really good...
The Keebler elves?
The Keeblers. That was always good cereal.
Wait, is it the Keebler elves?
They had those cookies. I don't know what they're called. They have just those cookies.
They like crackle and pop while you're... like the Rice Krispie treats.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I have to... It's not on this list, but I'll find it eventually.
I don't... Like... I only had it a couple of times, but I always liked it.
All right, how about this one? Marshmallow Magic.
Lucky Charms.
Yes, and it's like some like fat rabbit coming out of a hat, like a magic hat with a spoon.
But that gives the same energy as like the leprechaun.
It's not the same. It's not the same. It doesn't taste the same.
Inspired energy.
And it's 10 calories more than Lucky Charms.
Damn.
Yeah, how's that feel?
You know.
Okay, you ready for the next one? How about pranks?
Oh.
By Best Choice.
Pranks. Can I have a hint? Like, okay, wait.
When you pull a prank on someone, it's...
I'm trying to think.
If I'm lying to you about something, I'm pulling a what?
Is it tricks?
Yes.
Wow.
Instead of a rabbit, it's a I don't even know what this is. It looks like a combination of a fox and a raccoon with carrying a cape and a green bandana.
Wow.
Yeah, actually, I want you to look at this one. This one looks really stupid. I'll show them to you each time.
Yeah.
I just gotta move my computer.
Why?
Does that look appetizing to you?
That looks so like... What?
Yeah, exactly.
That's just like... I'm sorry. If I was a little kid and I was like, oh, Dad, can you give me a box of tricks? And he whipped out pranks.
Yeah.
I would be so disappointed.
I wouldn't eat it. And then this is what the Marshmallow Magic one looks like.
You know what that looks like? Have you ever played the game with the rabbits?
Yeah.
Literally
It looks like a
gives the same-
Rabbids rabbit.
Yeah, a rat. Yeah. And what was the other one?
It's called Pranks.
No. Like going up, the other ones. Cocoa Nuggets.
It's a green monkey on a vine.
But it gives the same energy as like Fred Flintstone.
No, it doesn't.
I don't know. I'm getting
One's
the
an
same
iconic
energy.
TV character. The other one is.
But it's like, you know,
a
both in their
shitty monkey
primitive
with
mindsets.
with buck teeth
Yeah.
and a spoon. Hold on. All
Man.
right, how about this one? Crisp Crunch.
Apple Jacks?
No,
Crisp.
it's made by
Captain Crunch?
I think it's called Bastin Foods.
These are definitely like 3-day-old companies that are just like rushing to bring these into production.
It provides 7 vitamins and minerals. And the mascot is like a bodybuilder with like the sweat gear. Like you wear the headband and the armbands.
Can I get a hint?
Oh, what was the other one you said?
I said Apple Jacks.
What was the other one?
Captain Crunch.
It's Captain Crunch.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's Captain Crunch. But this one
Wow.
provides 7 vitamins and minerals.
At least it's nutritious. Dang, that guy's kind of brolic.
It doesn't look good, though.
He looks like the Crimson Chin without like the suit on.
How about... Oh, we did the cookies one. How about Fruit Spins?
Oh, that's Fruity Pebbles.
No.
Really?
No.
Fruit Spins?
Fruit Spins.
Wait, food or fruit?
Fruit.
Fruit Spins? Apple Jacks?
No. What's another cereal brand that starts with fruit?
Fruity Loops.
Fruit Loops.
Oh, Fruit
Yeah.
Loops.
Kellogg's Fruit Loops with the toucan.
Yeah.
Yeah. And this is even the even shittier picture from a company called Great Value.
Dang, that's like depressed. You know what that is? That's like if
It's not even colored in.
That's a minimalist family.
It's not even
Like a
colored in.
minimalist family would buy.
I don't even know what that is. It looks like a frog jumping into a bowl of cereal.
Yeah, that's like sadness.
Then you have crispy hexagons. Any of these making you hungry?
These names aren't even creative.
Any of these making you hungry?
Crispy hexagons.
You might not know this. This isn't a well-known brand.
Life?
Even the first brand.
Is it Life?
cereal.
Life
No,
cereal?
it's
No.
Kellogg's.
Kellogg's. Crispy.
Even I didn't know that. I didn't actually know about this cereal
Crispy
until I saw this.
hexagons. Life. Cornflakes.
No.
Oh, is it the Oh my gosh, is it the frosted wheat thins? Whatever, they're like the
No,
wheat.
that's not
Okay,
it.
but you know what I was talking about.
I know what you're talking about. That's like honey. No, it's not honey. Wheat something.
Yeah, but you know what I was talking about.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Crispy hexagons. General. Well, you said Kellogg's or General Mills?
It's Kellogg's.
And is this like a children's cereal?
I'm assuming all of them are children's cereals.
But like, if you look at the name brand, does it give like children?
I'm looking at the A-list one, and it's a kid's one.
Okay,
It's got fruit in it.
it's got fruit in it.
Yes, it's fruit and hexagons. You're probably not going to get it. 'Cause
No,
I
what is
didn't
it?
even know it. It's called Crispix.
Can I see it?
Or Chris.
That sounds familiar.
It's like Crisp IX.
Oh, that's. So
I actually didn't
sad.
know that about this brand
You know
until
what this?
I saw this.
You know what this gives me the vibes of? You know the party mix, like
Like Chex Mix.
yeah, the Chex Mix.
Yeah.
They had like leftover Chex Mix, like, and didn't put the cheese powder on it and just put it in milk.
Yeah.
That's literally what that looks like.
Okay, let me find. I think I only have. I got 3 more for you.
Okay,
And then
okay.
we're done here. Bunch O cinnamon squares.
Oh, this is Cinnamon Toast Crunch.
Yeah, and it's got like a blue elephant with a chef's hat on
Hot take.
from a company called Hospitality.
Can I have a hot take?
What?
Cinnamon Toast Crunch is not the best cereal.
Damn,
I know. It's good.
it's good.
It's in the top 3, but it's not the best.
It's your opinion. You know.
Wow.
It's up to you. I'm not gonna tell you what
You
to
said
believe.
that is your opinion.
Let's just move on. How about Confruity Crisp? It's got a
Say
picture
that
of
again?
it's got a picture of some weird ass lizard holding a spoon. Confruity Crisp, made by Food Lion.
Con fruit. And what's the A list? Like what company is the A list?
Post.
Post. Oh, I don't know a lot about Post cereals. What is it?
Fruity Pebbles. And the knockoff brand is called Confruity Crisp. Confruity Crisp. Does that sound appetizing to you?
The government needs to step in and outlaw these
Yeah,
companies.
see, this is where my pet peeve comes in.
I can see where your pet peeve.
It says that the box features a prehistoric, creepy-looking dinosaur eating cereal. Okay, this one should be okay. Apple Orbits.
Oh, this is Apple Jacks.
Apple Jacks, yeah, and it's just like it's a picture of an apple eating the cereal, but he looks like he just snorted a line of Coke before he started eating.
Remember those commercials with Apple Jacks with like the cinnamon stick and the apple, and they would like go back and forth?
Yeah, I remember they got rid of that because I think it was just racist.
Because the cinnamon stick was
someone
like
complained
the
because
stereotypical Jamaican.
Yeah, someone complained about the cinnamon stick, and then they got rid of it. Let's see if there's another one. Yeah, we had the fruit spins. I opened up 2 of them, but they're mostly the same. Mm-hmm. There's one called Live It Up, which is basically Chex Mix with blueberries instead of strawberries. Then you have most of these are
this
the
is
same.
like frustrating.
How about Circus Balls cereal? And it's
Reese's Pieces.
And it's like some type of it's like a monkey in a jean jacket.
Is this Reese's Pieces?
In like a sleeveless jean jacket juggling cereal.
Is this Reese's Pieces?
I don't know.
Is it chocolate peanut butter?
The guy just wrote, any cereal title with the word balls in it is going to be somewhat questionable. And then he also wrote as a comment, I also don't like the way the monkey is looking at me.
Wait, let me see how the monkey is looking at you.
He's got this like where one eyebrow is up in the air, like, oh, you think you can eat this?
The monkey is a little sus. The monkey's a little sus.
Let me try to find the. There's only a few more, and then we're all finished.
Do you recognize any of these from your like grocery store adventures?
Some of these ones were not there. I remember there's one that got me for a hot second. So you know Special K.
Yes.
Right, Special K, and then there's the Special K with the dried strawberries in it, right?
Yes.
I actually liked that cereal. I thought it was pretty good. Mm-hmm. There's one on there called it was like Fit and Active Strawberry Cornflakes, something like that. It looks exactly the same, but here's the thing that started making me laugh in the store. That in the description on the front of the box, it says like Fit and Active Strawberry Cornflakes, and then in the asterisk, compare to Special K Strawberry Cereal.
Like, do you think the company is telling you, like, compare us to Special K?
They're literally, like, in the asterisk, it says, oh, please compare to this other cereal you've probably eaten before us. Come on, dude.
You know what? I think that
Am I the only one that, like, feels this?
There are definitely others. I feel like this
come on.
This is giving the same energy as, like, people, you know, like, stores copying name brand clothing and then rushing it into production, like, you know, like Shein, like, you know, that's what like Shein is accused of doing.
Okay.
Do you know the clothing store Shein?
Is it SHEIN?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's like that's what it's giving in. Oh man, that's really funny. Damn.
Man. All right. And with that, I think I'm gonna call it for this episode.
I think we should.
All right, let's leave it off on a ridiculous note.
Let's leave it on a really ridiculous note. And this was a crazy episode.
This was a crazy episode, yeah.
Yeah, you know, Alyssa, perhaps she should stay canceled.
She should stay.
No.
And first thing's gonna happen. She's gonna come back, just start
cursing us out
in the middle of my basement.
You know, we look forward to having her back, and we also look forward to having Mike back.
Yes, absolutely.
Alrighty. Au revoir.
And thank you everybody for listening. We hope to see you next time.
Peace.